Hi there, Zaman for NerdTube. These are my thoughts and spoilers of Mayor Kingstown Season 3, Episode 8, Captain Shit Out of Luck. Another fantastic episode, and I was thinking as I was about to do this review, that is there really a bad episode of this show? This show is so damn good, and I love every minute of it, and this episode was no different. We start this episode with the Crips getting some payback at the Aryans. One of the guards who works for the Crips does a signal, and a guy on the ground outside the prison walls throws some grenades into the prison. That's where Callahan happens to be at this particular time, and some of these grenades started killing members of the Aryans. Callahan survives. He uses one of the prisoners as a shield, a human shield literally, and one of the guards unfortunately gets killed by a sniper. That way he doesn't retaliate or anything like that. Anyways, Mike gets to know about this, speaks to Callahan, who's now getting the best healthcare only a prisoner can get in America. Sorry for being all political, but your healthcare system does suck. And Mike puts an idea into Callahan's head that it's probably not the Crips, more likely to be the Russians. And obviously Mike has no love for the Russians. Out of all the factions that are in Kingstown fucking each other over, Mike obviously has a soft spot for the Crips, and because he's got his good friend with Bunny, knew his cousin and stuff like that. So yeah, Mike is trying to basically make the Aryans and the Russians fight each other by putting the idea that the Russians did that hit, saying that okay, look, Callahan, they got no more use for you anymore. You know, you're done so. Later on, though, I mean, things start to get really good for Mike because the Aryans, they decide to do a drug deal with Constantine, the Russians, and they do this unannounced. They just pop up at his door. Now, because this drug deal kind of pissed off Constantine, he takes out one of the Aryans, and so now the idea of the Aryans and the Russians having a fight is more likely to happen now because Callahan gets wind of this, and now he wants to get back at the fucking Russians. Constantine himself, he's really fucked. We find out through Iris, you know, who's obviously relaying information to Mike, that this guy is just constantly doing lots of drugs. You know, he's shooting up cocaine for breakfast and fucking doing heroin to get to sleep. And we saw one point when he's trying to get to sleep that one of his guards fucking shoots him up between his toes. It's really squeamish. Never a fan of fucking needles myself. Absolutely crazy. Regarding Bunny himself, Bunny is like, he's really becoming the godfather. And we see him speaking to Raphael's wife. Raphael's the guy he's got on the inside who's helping him out. Raphael was the guy from last week who wanted Bunny to look after his family. And Raphael's got a son as well who's a really smart kid, you know, straight A student and all of that. And because obviously the Aryans or the Russians might come after Raphael's family, he decides, you know, because obviously the guards are all fucking Aryans themselves, not all of them, but some of them are, and they've been trying to set up Raphael on a couple of occasions. Bunny decides to move Raphael's family to a safer spot, you know, doing his godfather type duty, so to speak, and that's nice to see. Now, what else is there? Oh yes, we have Tracy. Now, Tracy, she had that issue with that prison guard who got a bit too touchy-feely with her. Now, initially, when she was speaking to Mike, because she decided to speak to Mike about this, earlier on you thought she was going to talk to Carl, her own husband, but she just couldn't do it because, in a way, she doesn't want to cause any issues at home. She'd rather just Carl focus on his work, and so he doesn't have to, like, have a vendetta against some guy who's after his wife or who fucked with his wife. So she smartly speaks to Mike, and this is something I brought up last week, that she's probably going to talk to Mike about this because of who Mike is. Now, initially, she brings up the fact that, you know, she thinks that some of the female inmates are being raped by prison guards, but then she slowly kind of changes the conversation towards how she's been harassed and touched by a prison guard. And when Mike figures this out, Mike goes fucking mad. Like, he's a man on a mission. You know, it's just so great to see. You knew Mike, you know, because he loves his sister-in-law, he loves his family. You know, his mum's being killed, his brother's being killed. Like he's not gonna take any shit from anyone when it comes to his immediate family, and he's so happy that Tracy came to him and not Carl, and he doesn't he doesn't even he doesn't want Carl to know about this, and with the help of I think it's Eugene, no Ian, sorry, Ian, another cop, they find this guy and Mike beats the shit out of him, and it's glorious. He feels so great about it. He tells this guy, look, you're going to move. You're going to transfer to a different place, a place where there's probably no female inmates either. Your time of touching women is over. Just beats the fuck out of him. And I like it. Prior to meeting Ian, he just goes to Ian, listen, I need your help. I need your help to stop me from killing a guy or something like that. You can tell he's boiling inside. It's just absolutely beautiful. Regarding Carl himself, though, like, he's keeping an eye on his fellow SWAT mate Robert, and because obviously Mike saw all those guns and shit held by the Crips last week in that massive warehouse, he's kind of duty bound to let the cops know where all that shit is. So they do know, and they go to do a raid, but unfortunately the whole warehouse is empty. So Robert questions Carl, like, your brother, he's a bit too friendly with Bunny and those guys, those Crips, And obviously, Carl doesn't like the tone. He after speaking to oh god, what's her name, Evelyn, last week, the lawyer who told him to like keep an eye out for Robert. He's a bit unstable. Carl can see that, and Robert. He's getting. You can see he's tilting. He's on the edge a little bit. He's like a junkie who's not fucking. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying he is a junkie, but he almost comes across like a junkie who's having withdrawal symptoms or something like that. He's really unstable, and that's because obviously what happened to him in previous episodes where he was taken hostage by the Crips and was almost killed by them. So he got a little bit of a vendetta, even though the Crips in a way kind of saved him. It's weird, I know. Regardless, that was another good moment too. Oh, by the way, Iris, she was given a get out clause by Constantine, saying, look, I'll give whatever you want, I'll give you money, I'll let you go, but she still wants to help Mike and everyone else when it comes to bringing down Constantine. And plus, in a way, it could be a test. It really could be a test for Iris to see if she's loyal to Constantine, so she doesn't take the deal, even though Constantine is very much begging her to take this deal, to get out of it, start a new life and all of that. Regardless, fantastic episode, so much going on, so many stories and moments, set pieces. It's a fantastic show. I just can't get enough. I really can't get enough. And what annoys me the most is how nobody's watching this. How the hell can nobody be watching? This is one of the best shows on television. And I'm glad it's got a third season. But everyone I know who does watch this knows it's fucking great. It is really great. Very well rated on IMDb, Rotten Tomatoes, you name it. It's got good scores. The audience fucking loves it. I fucking love it. Can't wait till next week for next week's episode. Bring it on, one of the best shows of this year. Only made within 6 months as well. Fantastic. Oh, did I mention more than Kareem Moore as well? He's trying to get back with his wife a little bit. No, I didn't really give a shit about this particular scene. The only thing which was funny was the fact that his work was trying to call him after the bombings, but he's so desperate to make amends with his past relationship that he's not answering the phone. But you're thinking to yourself, as you already know what happened at the prison, that he needs to be answering this fucking phone. It's very important, but he refuses to answer it. Obviously, he finds out later on when he speaks to the prison guard, the one who's an inside man for Bunny, and Bunny's obviously telling this same prison guard just to get a bit close to the warden, and just to create those bonds and those elements, and just keep an ear to the ground and stuff. But they probably need to use him again. Yeah, I can't believe I missed that bit out. But still, regardless, fantastic stuff. what can I say? 9, 10. I mean, that's the sort of level these episodes are for me. They are always fantastic, always enjoyable, well paced, just fantastically well acted. I just can't get enough of this show, and nothing ever feels like a filler. Everything feels purposeful, which is one of the best compliments I can give for a show like this. Bring on the next episode next week. I can't wait. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe to NerdTube. We are the greatest social media channel you never heard of, and if you've already forgotten, the name is NerdTube. Remember it.